Welcome back, everybody. My name is Tucker, this is Sporting Logically, and as of Friday, LeBron James is officially an unrestricted free agent after opting out of his deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers next season. That was the deadline for opting in or out of contracts for all players for next season, and although it seemed like it might have been kind of a foregone conclusion that James would opt out of his deal for next year, there were a number of interesting scenarios developing that actually made it a lot more intriguing than you might think at first. The reason being is that had James decided to opt into his contract for next season, it actually would have increased the number of possible teams for him to join. There are a handful of teams around the league that were rumored to be possibilities for him to join that don't have the outright cap space to sign him, such as the Celtics and the Rockets, which meant that the only way for him to be on their roster this summer would be via a trade. This is a scenario that's similar to how Chris Paul was traded last offseason, where he opted into his deal for 1 year while facilitating a trade to the Houston Rockets. The idea here would have been for LeBron to opt into his deal with no intention of playing for Cleveland next season and being traded to Houston, for example, for any number of combinations of players and picks to make it all work. So what does this mean for all of the other franchises that are still in position to potentially sign him as a free agent this offseason? Well, it basically narrows it down to 3 teams: the Lakers, the Sixers, and the Cavaliers. Philly has lost a bit of steam publicly in their pursuit of James since the Colangelo burner account situation, and although they definitely still have a chance, it seems to be more of a 2-team race at this point. The Cavs might be in play more now than ever, with a new young point guard in Colin Sexton on the roster, and LeBron's decision to opt out boosting their chances. I still don't think he'll end up staying in Cleveland, but as I said, it's more likely now than it has been at any other point in the summer in my eyes. And that brings us to the team that I predicted LeBron to sign with weeks ago when I did my Free Agent Friday video on him, and incidentally the most talked about team of the offseason, the LA Lakers. Apparently the biggest thing that is preventing LeBron from making a commitment to LA is that he doesn't want to be the first one to jump on board, and would be much more comfortable once they've secured another star. Their current absence of a star is not for lack of trying, however, as they've been aggressively pursuing a Kawhi Leonard trade in what will essentially be a trade for both players if the previous report is correct. Though the initial trade talks apparently didn't go far, it seems as though LA's willingness to give up a number of their young assets has started to soften the Spurs' stance that they wouldn't trade Kawhi to any team in the West. However, this newfound aggression in finding a trade package for Leonard tells me that the team is legitimately concerned that Paul George won't become a Laker this summer. There have been reports that he was wavering on his desire to come to LA, but I honestly just brushed them off at the time. But their need for another star to convince LeBron to come to LA and their desperation in trying to trade for Kawhi tells me it might not be as much of a sure thing as I previously thought for PG to become a Laker. Not only that, but it's going to be pretty tough to try and get all 3 of these guys on the same team this summer, as it would require either PG or LeBron to commit first, followed by the other signing, followed by a Kawhi trade. But I honestly would be shocked if none of these guys end up on the roster either this offseason or next. With all that said, and going back to the original title of the video, in my eyes LeBron James opting out of his deal means that his free agency decision has essentially come down to the LA Lakers and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And if I had to put a number on it, I would say it's about 60-40 towards the Lakers right now. As always with the NBA offseason, however, things could change very quickly, and one move could turn this whole thing upside down. No matter what though, it seems like we won't have to wait much longer to find out LeBron's destination, as we should know his decision within the next week. And that is the end of today's video. If you missed my last one, you can click here. If you'd like to see more videos just like this, you can click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.